We always talk about overthinking, but never over-imagining. They say get a lot of hours of sleep to be rested. But why do I wake up more tired when I get more sleep? You know those late night thoughts that you get, or those shower thoughts that you get when you're, in the shower by yourself? Those thoughts are the real you. You're just too distracted to really be hearing what you be thinking. Let me explain. So the other day, I was sitting in my living room and I turned off my phone because I was like, I feel like there's just too much going on in my head right now, too much. And I said, let me just sit in silence and just just exist. And I was like, I have some very good, intelligent thoughts, actually. And I'm like, why do I not really exercise this practice? Why do I not really try to reason in this way? And I was like, because there's too much distraction going on with our phones, our technology, our lives, or just too much busyness going on. Of course, there's a business that happens in your life for the things you have to do, go to work, take care of kids, take care of family, whatever you got to do. But then there's also the distractions and the busyness we put in our heads, put in our minds that don't need to be there. Being on Instagram for 2 hours, being on YouTube for 5 hours, and all the other things you're doing. Some things actually are even productive, but they're still noise. You could be worshiping and you're always playing music. You're trying to meditate for the Lord, you're always playing something. You're always listening to a sermon. You're always listening to worship music. You're always listening to a podcast. You're always listening to an audio.
Chapter 1.
Think.
The surprising power.
When do you ever really take the time to just be quiet? No, seriously, like, when do you ever just stop? Stop making noise. Stop playing noise. Stop talking noise. Just stillness. This was something the Lord talked to me about like in 2022, which is that like, it's not that I'm not talking. It's just that my people don't sit down, be still and listen. And I'm not saying this just for like the Christian aspect of things. There is the Christian aspect of things, but then there's also the productivity aspect of things. It's like, when do you have the time to actually even think of how you can better your life? When do you have the time to think, how can I improve the processes that I have in my life? It's just, we just keep going with the motion of life. We keep going with the motion of things. That's why people feel like time is going by so fast. Time is like, oh my gosh, we're already in February. Oh my gosh, it's already happening. Oh my gosh, this has already happened. And it's like, because you're just such in this fast paced world, which I can't really blame too much people, because that's how things are engineered. These phones, these technologies are psychologically engineered for your mind to be warped and distracted by those things for a long period of time, for you to get those dopamine hits and all those things so that you stay on those platforms, stay on those devices and whatnot. But it's just, I'm trying to implore you today to take time of intentional stillness, time for intentional silence. Be you a Christian, be you not a Christian. Stop being so fogged up in the noise. The productive noise, the distractive noise, the surrounding noise. Have it like be maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes. If you can do 30 minutes in a day where you just sit still with your thoughts. You could have a journal, you could write it down on your phone. Or if your phone is the cause of your distraction, which it is for most people, get a piece of paper, get a journal, and be like, what are the things I'm actually thinking? That's the time that you actually realize the project you were supposed to start working on at this point in time, you forgot about it. This thing that you said you were going to start doing, you forgot about that. You stopped doing that. Why did you stop doing that? You don't remember. What is this feeling you're feeling? You haven't solved it. You haven't healed from it because you don't sit down to be still. There's so much healing that comes from it in your own mind when you sit in stillness, even neurologically. Your brain is not even able to properly process all the information that you have because you're just bombarding yourself with too much information. You're listening to all the things, all of that. Take time to be still. So I implore you to do that, even spiritually. Like, God wants to tell you something and you think that playing worship music 24/7 and listening to sermons all the time it's good. It has its place, but like, we need to be intentional sometimes to just sit down and be still. And that's when you realize those thoughts that you need to be thinking, those divine ideas that you need to be getting from the Lord, and even just some things that you need to solve within yourself, that maybe issues that you've had for a long time, problems that you need solutions for, those things will come because you're then giving yourself and your brain and your mind and even your spirit the space to actually think, to actually solve things. So take a little step back from your technologies, take a little step back from your distractions, a little step back from all the things, all the noise, and just take 10 minutes, like I said, 30 minutes in a day, and be still. I hope this helps you. I know it will help you. If you actually listen to this, maybe do it for 3 days, maybe do it for 5 days. And if you do it, please comment. If you don't do it, comment why you wouldn't. But like this video, subscribe, please. Once again, it's me, Zainab. Love talking to you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a nice one. Peace.